Cutter's Degrassi Unpopular Opinions. Hey there, hello there. Chef Cutter W welcoming you to another Degrassi Unpopular Opinion / hot take. And this is, of course, I guess a hot take because a lot of people will agree with me on this opinion. But basically, my opinion about Esme, and I never did a video about Esme, is that yes, Esme may have had a borderline personality disorder, but Degrassi screwed up by not tying up that loose end at the end of Degrassi Next Class. Esme, if memory serves me right, was introduced in season 3 of Next Class. She was, she was there, and she basically was this girl who basically seemed to be very manipulative towards Miles and Sig and all that. Basically getting them into trouble and all that, and just rubbing them the wrong way and all that. She, of course, got ticked off that Miles would share pictures of Tristan in a coma in the hospital after the bus crash. But Miles said that they need to know about Tristan's help and all that, and basically people are moving on from him. But of course, Esme got angry and all that, and basically Perino threw Miles in detention. Miles and Lola were in detention together, and basically they formed a bond, and then Miles, impregnated Lola, and Lola went to get an abortion and all that. So, yeah. Esme seemed to be like a decent person. Like, okay, maybe she had some issues and all that. We grew to know Esme, especially in the final episode of Next Class Season 3, I'm Sleep. Basically, that's when Maya decides to kill herself and basically just send notes to everybody. Take good care of Sig and all that. Take good care of Miles and all that. And basically, Sig has a funny feeling that something's fishy and decides to try to find Maya. And they find Maya on the roof. Now, Maya wasn't supposed to kill herself on the roof. Maya took some pills and put on headphones. It was on the bus. But she had tried to fall asleep, but she couldn't, and she thought she was doing something wrong, so she decides to try to jump off the roof. But of course, the drugs finally kicked in, and basically she was on the roof. I don't know how Sig and Esme had such good insight into thinking about Maya. And she would be on the roof. But they find her on the roof. Esme basically tells Sig, don't let Maya throw up because she could choke on her own vomit. And Esme knew because her own mother killed herself right in front of Esme when she was 10. So thanks to Esme's help, Maya goes to the hospital and Maya is recovering. And of course, everyone hated the final few lines of that episode because Tristan said he wanted pizza, and it seemed like Tristan basically wanted to take attention away from Maya, but it could have been coma brain. But yeah, I think that Tristan had some kind of hatred towards Maya and all that. So yeah, I should do like an unpopular opinion based on that theory. So I'll remind myself to do it. So anyway, Esme seems to be with Sig and all that, and Esme's happy that she saved Maya's life. But soon enough, Esme starts to get pissed off because Sig and a lot of people gravitate towards Maya and help her out, and basically they don't give Esme the attention she craves. That basically she's a hero, and so basically Esme tries to make it a mission to try to destroy Maya to try to get everyone on her side. It doesn't seem to work as much. And then Esme goes into a polymorphous relationship with a triangle with Sig and Frankie. And it was weird how, Esme was so desperate about not losing Sig that basically she was willing to be with Frankie too. It was like, what the H? Why would Frankie be in that relationship? It doesn't make sense. But anyhow, when I think about it, I think about how, Esme seemed to be manipulative and all that, and was desperately trying to cling on Sig and all that. Especially in the last few episodes of the series, when basically she freaks out when Sig goes to the prom with Maya, even though it was just a pure accident, and Maya didn't want to, Maya and Sig felt bad for doing the prom thing. And then basically what ends up happening is there's a bomb threat, they clear the They clear the prom, and then basically everything is a-okay. And then Sig's with Maya, but Maya actually figures out about Esme and tells Sig, "You need to go to Esme because she needs some help. Don't worry about me; I'll be fine." And then Esme gets so angry at Sig, she throws him down and injures him, and all that, and then flees and runs. And that's when Maya started realizing that she was trying to help Sig out, and it burned in her face. So she didn't want to go to graduation because she felt better, and she stayed in bed. However, good old Grace actually talks to Maya and helps her out. And thankfully for Maya, she's fine. Esme then comes to graduation. Well, uh, Yale announces that Esme couldn't graduate because Esme missed the last month of class, which is like she missed her last so that's an automatic failure. So basically, she has to be brought back. And then Esme shows up at prom in a motorcycle and says, Sig like motorcycles. I've got this motorcycle and helmet for you. And then when Sig basically gets away from Esme's advances, Esme wraps his head with the bicycle helmet. But thankfully, the guidance counselor, I think it's Miss Growler, Grell, Grell, basically tells her, say, Esme, it's not too late to admit you need help and all that. And Esme collapses in her arms. And Maya tells Sig that she had to say something about Esme for Esme's sake. You know, because Maya felt bad that, Esme helped her in season 3 recover from her suicide attempt, and then basically Maya needed to pay it back. And I think that was great for Maya and all that. So of course my big beef is that it didn't that loose end was not tied up, even in that montage at the end of the episode. They talk about Winston and Goldie being power couple, Winston and Miles being in Europe, Tiny and Shay together, Maya and Sig together, Tristan getting his high school diploma, his equivalent, I guess, and then basically someone in the hospital, someone visiting someone in the hospital, and then I thought that was Esme in the hospital, but no, it was Grace, as Grace got her lungs and to cure her cystic fibrosis. Yeah, her cystic fibrosis, and basically, that was Jonah. It just ticks me off. Like everyone says that, there's loose ends about Jack Simpson, but no, Jack wasn't really mentioned much after season 13, I think. But anyhow, Esme's problems, we never got the solution. And it's a hot take that, Esme may have been manipulative as fuck, but she deserved a better ending. We deserved to have the loose ends basically tied up. Like the loose ends just stopping loose ends. And it's been like 3 years. So someone actually posted an unpopular opinions thing a while ago. And one person, musical memer, did some stuff. But memer, and I think it's a girl, said that basically Esme was an abusive girlfriend. She constantly guilt-tripped and manipulated Sig, tried to separate him from his friends, treated him like her property, got naked for Syed during an art project for no reason other than to make Sig mad, and I don't think I ever apologized for anything she did. She was probably mentally ill, but it was still abuse. Nothing about what she did to Sig was fair or okay. And I get that. That was actually the one popular opinion thing that basically got me thinking about doing this one. So I'm like, thank you, musical memer. Yeah, I mean, Esme was kind of awkward. And I think we all knew that when we watched it. Like, I didn't really watch the next class first run. I only watched a few episodes first run, especially the finale. But the fact of the matter is, yeah, Esme seemed to be off and all that. Like, Esme was manipulative. That is the truth. I mean, she tried to manipulate Miles into being with her. She tried to manipulate people away from. Is it Miles? I hope so. Away from Maya. She tried to manipulate Sig to stay in a relationship with her. She was in a polyamorous relationship with Sig and Frankie just to keep Sig. And basically, she was upset when Sig basically went to prom with Maya, even though that was a mistake. And Maya tried her damnedest to get Sig to realize that he's making a mistake by being with Maya. And, Maya was trying to pay it back, because obviously Esme helped her in the end of season 3. So Maya figured season 4 she needed to pay it back because Esme helped her. I think I think Maya really wanted to thank Esme for her stuff, but Esme seemed to be off the deep end. A lot of people said she might have borderline personality disorder or being bipolar and all that, kind of like what Craig was. But in a sense, I think she has more of a personality disorder than Craig did. I know Craig being bipolar is a bad disorder, but as is, he wasn't that bad. Like his mood swings were okay, but Esme's, oh my god, way worse than Craig's and all that. Yeah, I think Esme was really mentally ill and all that. I mean, her mother killed herself in front of Esme's eyes when she was 10. Like, how do you recover from that? It's hard to recover from trauma and all that. I mean, Maya didn't completely get over the trauma about Cam killing himself in the greenhouse and all that. So what you got is basically Esme being a kind of a jerk, but you can't blame her. I mean, Esme just wanted a relationship. Esme acted out weird, and this happened several times in Degrassi, from next gen to next class. It's like that's nothing new. But I mean, Esme just seemed to be kind of a jerk at times. I mean, Esme's okay in a sense, but I just can't get past it. So yeah, Esme to me basically it should have been described what she had, or basically something that a happy ending for her. But it just seemed like it was just the ends were not tied up, and that kind of pisses me off in a sense. But anyway, I know like you guys think the same way. Anyway, I'm Jeff Diamond. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.